We all know that the next-gen consoles are fast in coming. We know what they look like, what they cost, and I heard Jimmy's cousin has some pre-orders behind the Dunkin' Donuts. But what if they could be better? Amir is here to answer that exact question.
Yes, I am. And you know, I've been thinking, with all this talk of next-gen consoles, a lot of people are getting really excited to open their wallets and sacrifice half a month's rent just to see Master Chief's dump truck or Kratos' dusty follicles in 4K.
It's what the people want.
It's true, it's what I want.
Anyway, why wait? I'm Connor.
And I'm Amir.
And this is Insight Gaming.
Saturday Night Live.
We go party. Hey, hey. We go party.
Thanks for that, Connor. Today on Insight Gaming, we're going to be discussing everybody's favorite topic at the moment, next gen. But today, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to make our own next gen console, something that we can be proud of and something we can enjoy for years to come. I know that console wars aren't really a thing anymore, but they definitely won't be once I'm done with this bad boy. So grab some keyboard cleaner, some masking tape, an X-Acto knife, some dry erase markers, and a pepperoni hot pocket, and let's build the perfect next gen console. Sony recently announced the price for both versions of their new console, and they're offering up a disc-based one and a discless one. That's great, but let's start by taking a look at the aesthetics. I'm sure that we've all seen the memes surrounding this thing. I mean, it looks like an Oreo went through a panini press, but I like it. I could definitely see this on my entertainment center, tricking potential home intruders that it's rigged to kill on sight. It kind of looks like Elon Musk hit the bottle too hard and massacred a DVD player with a rotary tool. It also kind of looks like a bootleg Soda Stream. Okay, all right, I'm done. Now, as for Xbox, despite the ridiculous naming conventions that create headlines that make it sound like a Fall Out Boy song from 2004, they were the first to drop prices, which is nice, but of course I would like to look at the actual aesthetics first. As far as looks go, I prefer Sony's design because of how ridiculous and adventurous it is. Xbox, on the other hand, is about as aesthetically pleasing as buttered noodles. I feel like I'm looking at a trash compactor. I mean, this looks like something you'd see floating in the sky on a grainy recording uploaded to Daily Motion.
Have you seen an alien, please?
But as boring as it is, it's tried and true. This is a box. An Xbox. The Series S, however, looks like a DJ Hero peripheral you'd find at a Goodwill for $3. I mean, what is that? A hot plate? Am I supposed to make Hamburger Helper or play Halo? It better do both for the price. No, but I do actually like the design of this one. I mean, it's simple, but that circular black vent adds a bit of a pop and makes it stand out compared to its big brother. So in the aesthetics department, it's okay, but I'm looking for great here. Okay, so as I said, we are going to be designing our own next-gen consoles. I brought out the whiteboard. We are back in class, just like that. Okay, so we need to think of something practical, something that you can keep in a good place and still have it look nice enough to where if you have people over, you know, they won't freak out at the sight of an obelisk in your living room. So I'm thinking maybe like a nice slim design, right? Perhaps some little shoes and a disc slot and a power button. We need something to spice it up because I feel like just having it like this isn't enough. So we'll probably add some like little circles on the side. I mean, it's not a Disney console, but perhaps this could be like the fans, maybe cooling it. Maybe they spin. That's just an idea. I mean, this is all an idea, right? I don't have the money to go out and make my own console. This is just an idea. Got the USB ports and an SD card slot. So we have a rough design, but let's move on to features. Because I mean, after all, you're not just gonna be staring at your console, you're gonna be interacting with it. So from the jump, the PS5 has been advertising their 3D audio. It's essentially going to make your ears tingle whenever Miles Morales has indigestion. It's really cool, but the only reason I'm interested in 3D audio is so I can find out what the hell it is. You also have the other claims like a nice big GPU for 8K support, ray tracing, and overall gorgeous crisp graphics. They also mentioned the haptic triggers and the new DualSense controller. That all sounds great. However, Sony really had to drop the ball on backwards compatibility once again. The argument I always see when it comes to backwards compatibility on the PS5 is if you want to play your old games, just hang on to your old hardware. I mean, that's fair, but my response to that is if you have a bunch of books, why do you put them all on one bookshelf? Why don't you get a separate bookshelf for each book? It doesn't make any sense. It's not convenient. Of course, I would want the convenience of having my entire PS library in one machine. I mean, if I have to bust out a PS2 just to play Time Splitters every once in a while, then so be it. I won't be happy about it, but I'll still do it. As for Xbox, they're coming out of the gate with a beast of a box. I mean, going back to aesthetics for a second, you look at that thing and you would think you'd be able to print a 3D girlfriend with its beefy processor. There's been a lot of talk about teraflops this gen, about how many is not enough. Xbox is bringing pure brawn to the table with its ray tracing capabilities, a really fast solid state drive, and potential 8K capabilities. And of course, the kicker, full backwards compatibility across all generations of Xbox. And I'm sure that's great for diehard Xbox fans. I mean, me personally, I really only ever owned a 360, so I'm not entirely moved by the library. But still, Sony should take notes because that is awesome. Although, what good is a beefy console without any games? I mean, Microsoft is delaying its flagship title that people usually buy this thing for. It's a Halo machine. So what the hell, Microsoft? Okay, so as far as features go, obviously I want backwards compatibility, BC for short. It needs backwards compatibility. I would want a lot of flops, 24. Teraflops are important, right? 8K. We'll go 8K to 16K because they seem to be doubling it. The reason why I'm going with 8 to 16K is to future-proof it, right? We seem to be doubling it. You know, we went from 1080 to 4K, now 8K, so naturally the next step would be 16K. If we're already there, everybody else is behind us. 2 versions, no, 3 versions. Disc-based, disc-less, and hear me out, cartridges. It's an option, all right? I'm looking for convenience here. Just make it a little bit more fun. Make the purchasing fun, so that way you're not just getting a CD that'll disc rot in a decade. Okay, let's talk about longevity. I already kind of touched on that with the 16K, but let's dive a little bit more deep into that. Naturally, we want these consoles to last a long time and have a ton of support for years to come. Normally, this isn't an issue. However, oftentimes they will just re-release a whole ass new console just to fix issues from previous iterations of a current gen console, such as the PS3 having its disk drive die out, the Xbox One being a glorified VCR at launch, and the PS4 just completely dying. I'm sure plenty of people don't want to spend $500 just to have to do it again in less than a year. And I think Sony and Microsoft have for the most part learned from their mistakes, but there is always room for new ones to appear. For example, I can see the new features Sony is implementing never being used by developers years from now. 3D audio and haptic triggers are awesome, but how long until it becomes another motion-controlled DualShock or battery-draining light bars that do nothing but reflect off your TV and give you a migraine? Microsoft seems to be going for simplicity here, however, I would like to see their UI for their menu screen because the original one for the Xbox One was like navigating a supermarket in a foreign country. Okay, so clearly I'm a fan of minimalism and a little bit of flavor, okay? When you combine those two, I feel like you could really come up with something great. Aesthetically, I really like the look of the Nintendo Switch. So I feel like if you kind of have a similar UI, imagine like this is the TV, right? Kind of like Netflix, right? So they're all just like in a box. I'd say a maximum of 6. And then you can have your XMB or whatever little navigation tool right there. So that way you can kind of just navigate to the different applications. So I definitely want to do away with the touchpad from the PS4. I want nothing to do with touchpads. I think it's dumb, it's a stupid gimmick. Get rid of it. Opt in for fans on the grips. So little fans. The airflow will cool off your sweaty palms. So when you go to shake hands, if you have a job interview later that day, you go shake hands. Nothing, no sweat. They won't even know you've been playing Five Nights at Freddy's for 8 hours. So I'm thinking kind of like the Dreamcast with that little screen that would pop up and show like if you're playing Resident Evil, it'll show like your health status, things like that. Think about it, you could have like a little guy right there doing something, maybe helping you out, maybe if there's like some sort of partner AI. I don't know, there's so many features there that could totally be explored. All right, so we are discussing longevity, so I do want to see support for at least 8 to 10 years. What if instead of just releasing a new console, what if we just went the PC route and just replaced parts in it? Like if you want a new processor, bam, you go buy a new processor. That's the packaging. That's the process. I don't know what a processor looks like. Now that I think about it, I think I just want a PC. I think that's really what I'm going for here. I want a PC without the PC, if that makes sense. Lifetime warranty. The reason why a lifetime warranty is important is because when I first got the PS4 on launch, the Destiny White console, it broke within a month. And I mean, luckily GameStop had their own warranty where I could return it, but some consoles to give you what, like a year, 3 years, I don't know. Lifetime. If that thing breaks, if it busts,
I'm about to bust.
Go get a new one for free. Free upgrades. The reason why I say free upgrades is because I think that if you bought a game on a previous console that you supported, you gave them your money, and you want the prettier looking version of the same game, I think you should be able to pop that bad boy in there and it'll upscale it for you. Make it look nice, make it look pretty. Now here's the kicker, and I know that you guys might be mad, but I think this is the way to really tie all the bridges together and just be done with console wars forever. One big ass console, all right? So I'm talking, you got a Switch cartridge thing right here. The disc accepts both PlayStation and Xbox games, and you can also hook it up to Steam, right? That's an antenna. It's a metaphorical antenna. It's not actually there, but it's just showing it has Wi-Fi. So that way you literally have PC, Xbox, PlayStation, and Nintendo, all in one beautiful, glorious box. But wait, there's more. An N64 cartridge on there, and a Game Boy slot. You put Game Boy games in there, and a toaster oven, landline for when you need to make important phone calls, and Uber Eats on demand.
Wow.
Just end it there. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, you could.
Yeah, good.
What a week it has been. California is shrouded in smoke, I got a rug delivered, and Xbox has finally announced their much-leaked next-gen little brother console, the Xbox Series S. This is important because for all the talk of performance and power, the future of the console wars will be mid-range. I'm Connor, and this is Insight Gaming.